Ну или в чью-то пользу, не обязательно в мою, там в пользу, да, в пользу.
To his profit.
Profit – это прибыль, да, прибыль. Это немножко другое. А как сказать? В пользу, например, это было в мою пользу или в его пользу. In my favor.
In my
Or
favor.
in his favor. Hello, girls, by the way. Yulia and Tatiana. Nice to see you. So we are...
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are revising the vocabulary from the chapter. Okay, so Yulia, папка. Папка там.
Fold.
Yes, folder.
Folder.
Folder. И еще одно слово вам. Юрлицо. Вот физлицо есть, а есть юрлицо.
A corporation.
Да, но это корпорация. А вот это вот юридическое лицо, которое называется в юридическом языке. Кто-нибудь помнит?
Нет, я так не скажу.
Ага.
Там, по-моему, есть слово person.
Body. Да?
Body?
Legal body. Это юридическое лицо. Legal body. Окей. Так. Разжечь или воспламенить? Татьяна, вам. Что-то разжечь или воспламенить?
Burn?
Burn. А еще? На букву I.
На I?
Да. Еще зажигание в машине так называют. Зажигание в машине тоже на эту же букву.
I know this one.
Yes, please. What is the
Ignition?
word?
Ignition.
Ignition. Yes. А разжечь или что-то воспламенить, вот какое слово, какой глагол? Разжечь, воспламенить.
Ignition up или...
Ignition – это существительное, а глагол?
To ignite тогда уж.
To ignite. To ignite.
Ignite.
Татьяна, еще вам. Законный.
Так, законный.
Это законно или незаконно? Законно. Незаконный. Законный. На букву L. Как?
Legal.
Legal. Да, legal. Нанимать на работу. Олег.
To hire.
А увольнять?
To fire. Or to sack or something.
Да, все правильно. To hire, to fire. Ага. Стремиться к чему-то. Стремиться.
Intense.
На букву S.
Yes.
S. Не помните? To strive for. To strive for. Strive. Ага. И еще одно вам, Олег. Веские аргументы. То есть, например, обе стороны имеют веские аргументы. Вот веские аргументы как
Good
сказать?
reasons.
Ну да, можно, в принципе, ну, тут как причины больше, да? А вот аргументы веские.
Arguments.
Arguments – это немножко другое значение. Короче, там было так. Both sides have valid points. Valid points.
Valid points.
Valid points. И еще одно, Олег. Лишний, чрезмерный. Лишний или чрезмерный там было. На букву И.
Extremely?
Excess, да? Excess.
Access.
Excess. Ну да, это такие уже слова, конечно, посложнее. Вот, лексика. Ага. Юля, вам парочку еще. Бремя.
Это вот как-то bridge, не помню.
На B, на букву
Да,
B.
B.
Burden, да? Burden.
Burden, точно, да, burden.
И лазейка. Лазейка там в чем-то, в законе, например.
Там loyal loop.
Loopholes.
Loophole.
Ага. Loophole, да? Loophole.
Loophole.
Угу. Татьяна, невежественный, необразованный на букву I.
Невежественный, необразованный на ай.
Помнит?
This is my favorite word. It is ignorant. Ignorant.
Why is it your favorite word?
While I read something and I met a word which I consider is as a useful word and I want it used in my vocabulary, I like this. When I was preparing for this lesson, I made some
Yes.
So
you picked it up?
Notes and deductions. Also, I made deduction, amassing, and I like this one. I would be a Deutsch cow ready for milking.
Yes. Yes, I have this word as well. Доить корову, да? To milk a cow. Угу. Татьяна, вам еще одно. Карьерная лестница. Карьерная лестница.
Career leader.
Ladder, да, лестница, ladder. Corporate ladder. Corporate ladder. Это вот, когда мы говорим, да, как по-русски мы говорим, что вот по карьерной лестнице что делать? Взбираться?
Rise. Да, rise.
Вот по-английски to climb, corporate ladder, to climb. То есть карабкаться, да, как бы взбираться. И последнее. Льстить. Татьяна, вам последнее слово.
Так, сейчас.
На букву
F.
F.
Flatter.
Flatter. Льстить. Okay, let's discuss some points from chapter 4. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. So, I have a statement, and your task is to answer the question, what is Robert saying in this quote? So, what do you understand about this statement or this quote? And why does he say that? So, to understand fully how things happen, we need to look at the history of taxes. Oleg, what is Robert saying in this quote, and why does he say that?
Well, we were told about Robin Hood story, about taxes, and also we were told about that there were times when taxes didn't exist, and later government made taxes or running wars and so on.
Yes.
And also we were told about the main problem of taxes when the people ask for when people think taxes is a very good idea because they will take money from rich. It doesn't work because rich people know how to avoid taxes And in this case, the most part of taxes pay middle class because they don't know how to avoid taxes. Well, and if we don't know history, it is hard to understand this mechanism, maybe this stuff.
Yes. Okay, so we need to know, to look at the history of taxes means that at one time there were no taxes at all, and there
society exists somehow without taxes, and it wasn't a problem, maybe.
Yes. For me, it was some kind of discovery, and I didn't know that. And frankly speaking, I thought that taxes that is a very solid thing, and it was long time ago, and I didn't know that there were times when the taxes didn't exist. Okay, thank you. The next quote, Tatiana, for you. My rich dad just played the game smart, and he did it through corporations. The biggest secret of the rich. What is he saying, and why does he say that? What does it mean? So he played the game smart through corporations, the biggest secret of the rich.
So how I remember, this is about what the rich more хитрее. Cunning. So,
So maybe wise, мудрее, да? Хитрее, не знаю.
I remember what the corporation pay less taxes than the one юридическое лицо.
Legal body.
Legal body, yeah. So, and this is about what the rich people play in their life, and they know how make the money for the make the money, and
So why he calls this game smart, that he played the game smart? What smart is in that game? What did he do smart?
Because the rich people know how dispose of the money, so and they know how to work the taxes and another smart things. So yeah.
And did you understand so how to play the game smart through corporations? Did you understand that? What is that secret about? Why he calls it smart?
So I think then you in the corporation when you do something through corporation, this is more safely. So
why?
Because I think corporation this is very have very protected данные.
Data.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for your opinion. And the next quote, Yulia, for you. The reality is that the rich are not taxed. It's the middle class who pays for the poor, especially the educated upper income middle class. So the rich are not taxed, and it's the middle class who pays for the poor.
Yes, I think the main idea of this quote is about when rich made a corporation, they pay taxes after all. At first, they earn money, then they spend it, and after that, they only pay taxes. But if you middle class, so you work for a corporation, work for money, you earn it, then you pay taxes, and after that, you can spend it. So you at first time, at first point, you pay taxes after all. You have all your spends, and you buy something without taxes. You can buy a car, and it was your expenses in corporation, and you don't need to pay a tax for this money, and something like that. But if you middle class people or poor class people, first you earn money, you pay taxes, and then you can buy a car, maybe in a credit or something like that, and you pay for banks and government at first.
Yes. So in the beginning, the taxes were invented, and the most people voted for the taxes to punish the poor, the rich, to punish the rich. So the rich should be taxed. And in the end, it happens that the rich are not taxed, and the middle class pays the tax. So they are taxed. And that is so maybe I think that the middle class, do you think they understand, the middle class, do they understand such people that they are paying taxes? They're paying for the poor, and they're paying the government, but not the rich.
Yes, I think so. Rich have a lot of accountant and tax, and they know how to have loophole in the law, and other people, average people, they don't do how to do this.
Yes, and do they understand that they pay taxes for the government, and they pay for the poor people?
Yes, I think so, because we all know that we pay taxes for government, for our society security, and for roads, and for education, and for others.
Okay, and I think that the middle class really don't understand that they are taxed, and they pay for the poor people, and they pay government, because especially in Russia, here in Russia, we receive the paycheck, so our salary, from our employer without, so the taxes are already paid, and we take the salary and we think that we don't pay any taxes. So yes, we know that we pay this 13%, this tax, but in our way of thinking, most people, I think, they don't realize that they are taxed and they pay taxes. That's just my point of view. Okay. Every time people try to punish the rich don't simply comply. They react, they intend to change things, they don't just sit there and voluntarily pay more taxes. Oleg, what is Robert saying and why does he say that?
Well, because we know rich people is that who know how to manage money, and they have financial literacy, and it helps them to react for any changings. They know how law works, and in this case, in this chapter of the book, we were told about many possibilities how to legally avoid or decrease their taxes via creating corporation and using advantage of pre-tax paying, or how did he call this?
Yes, I think we can say so. Pre-tax payments, pre-tax expenses.
And in this case, everything is legal, and people can't be people can't say the rich man breaking the law, but the rest, the middle class, the poor people, don't use all of these advantages, and they think, oh, finally we punished the rich. The rich people are okay. They hire an expensive attorney, and it's cheaper for them to pay money for their job, and because as a result, they don't pay as much taxes as they could. And meanwhile, the rest people are arguing about this situation. We have to punish rich people. Rich people are okay, but the rest, the middle class especially, they don't even see the situation at all. I like the previous question about do middle class know what they are paying. I just imagine that situation in movies, and we often see that scene when somebody says, "I'm a taxpayer," and he proudly says this, and but he at the moment it looks like those people don't see the situation clearly.
Yes, I agree with you. And some years ago, I was working for some private company, not a very big company. It was a small company with maybe 15 employees. And I was working with some foreign partners in that company. And my boss, he was like, it is written here in this quote. So he didn't comply with taxes. He always he was trying to find some ways how to deduct taxes. And I did a lot of work that was connected with some possibilities to reduce taxes, to pay less. And I was always, when we were talking with him, I said, that's not legal. We must pay taxes, and it's not fair. We must pay for our government and for our society. And he always laughed at me and said, well, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm trying to find legal ways how to reduce taxes. So we had just different way of thinking. And I was just like this middle class who think that, yes, we must pay taxes, and we must help government and all this stuff. And he was just different. He was always looking for some ways how to reduce the taxes. And one day I was very angry at him, and I wanted to quit and to leave this job. And now when I'm reading this book, I just laughed at myself, and I thought, wow, what a stupid person I was. So not a stupid, but financially ignorant, I would say. So yes, that is true. And the rich people, the people with the mentality of the rich person, they understand what does this mean to pay taxes, and all this stuff about the history of taxes, and how these taxes, when the government receive this money, how they spend it, and all this stuff about what we read in this chapter. Therefore, I also agree with that the rich people, they don't comply. Comply means agree. So they don't comply, they react, they try to change something, and they find the ways to change the things. Okay, let's go further. And the next quote, Tatiana, if you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power and control it. So what does that mean, and why does the author of this book say that?
So the book said what the money must be your employee. So and money work for you. So one banknote. So this is one.
Do you remember this? Do you remember this situation when Robert was 9-year-old boy, and he was sitting near the office of the rich dad, and he was waiting for him when he asks him in, and the rich dad did this on purpose. He didn't ask him in for a long time on purpose. Да, намеренно, on purpose. So he wanted Robert would feel this, would have this feeling of control, the power of employer. A dog is barking. Okay. Yes. So when you work for money, the power is the employer has the power, and if money works for you, you keep the power and you control the power. That is the difference. That was the difference.
Maybe this is about the action, what the money needs invest in the investigation. So and
yes, we have to invest
action.
money so that money works for us.
Yes. And they invest in shares. So and when your money will be more and more, so and money will be work of you for you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the next quote.
Thank you.
Employees earn and get taxed, and they try to live on what is left. A corporation earns, spends everything it can, and is taxed on anything that is left. It's one of the biggest legal tax loopholes that the rich use. Yulia, would you please explain how you understand that and say why does the author say that?
Yes, in my first topic, I said about this that employers, middle class, for work for corporations, they earn their money, and at first they were taxed. And after that, they have some sum of money, and they can spend it. In this sum, they don't have extra money or something like that. And corporation work another way, and they have money, earn it, and at first they spend it. There are some ways to spend it. You can invest it, you can buy something, or pay for как это, представительские расходы, да? Не знаю, как это сказать по-английски.
No, I don't know, not either.
They pay for dinner in rich restaurant, or
Vacations.
Yes, vacation, and car, and buy tickets to plane or something like that, and for this pay corporations, and after that they pay taxes. So and I really don't agree with that, because I think in our law, our tax law, we have some ограничения.
Limits. Yes, I wanted to ask that question. So have you tried to find out, is it possible here in Russia?
I think really not. No, but it's not easy like this written. I think because we have limits, and if you want to add something in your expenses, you have to know is it really expenses, and you have to доказать, to prove it to government, who would проверять.
Yes, they would check all the expenses.
Who would check all the expenses? Yes.
Yes.
We
so you
in
have
Russia,
to prove that was the expenses of the corporation, not your private expenses.
Yes, the expenses of corporation. Yes, you can have some expenses for visits, your colleagues, your partners, but not only for your vacation and for your flat maybe, or house.
Yes, but as far as I can remember, my boss in that company that I worked for, he used this scheme this procedure to reduce the taxes. So he made some expenses, his private expenses, but he showed to the this tax organization that the expenses were of the corporation that he worked for, and he had the proofs of this expenses, and he used this. I think, yes, as far as I can remember, he made just like it is written here in this chapter. But I was surfing the internet yesterday, and I found out that the tax of the corporation in Russia is 20%. I'm not sure that it is true, because I'm not the accountant and I'm not the attorney, but I just have found this in the internet. The tax of the corporation is 20%, and the tax of the profit tax of the private profit tax is 13%. So in Russia, the taxes of the corporations are bigger than the private taxes.
Yes, we have these, and I'm not sure that if he made it legal. I think a lot of businessmen do it illegal, really. They pay for something private, but show these expenses like corporation expenses.
Do you think it is illegal? So we see that it's just the legal procedure, but some kind of smart thing to reduce the taxes that we have to pay. Do you think it is illegal when they do so?
No, I don't think. I worked for one company, and we sell some foreign machines, and when we have a tax and we have a time when we must pay taxes, we have a lot of things not to pay these. So we buy new machine and make remove them and something like that for not paying the taxes when it's time to pay this. So because we show to them like our we show our real situation for just now, and just now we have a debt, so we can't pay taxes.
Yes, I understand. So
and I really don't think that is so legal. It works, and sometimes tax accountant comes to you and
Okay.
как это, проверять, да, твои документы, and
So to check, you may say,
and check, yes, and check your documents, and sometimes they let you to pay more taxes.
Okay. Thank you. The next, here we have questions. So anybody can answer and share your reply with us, your opinion about that. So do you agree with Rich Dad's assessment of Robin Hood, that he was a crook? Why or why not? Do you agree with this Rich Dad's assessment that he was a crook? So what Robin Hood did, he took from the rich and gave to the poor.
There's kind of controversial stuff.
Yes.
I was surprised a little bit, but let's try to think about this. Well, Robin Hood is a character of a fairy tale, but maybe it based on some real person. I don't know. But if I think about a fairy tale, it seems to me it looks like a poor people who were oppressed by some people who are rich, and it's a way to make some justice. But in this case, poor people do nothing. Robin Hood robs rich, and he shares money, and that's it. It is a big stuff for thinking. When I was a kid, a young, less than 10 years, maybe
Yes.
I heard about this. Maybe I saw some cartoon, maybe. I don't know. But it looked for me as a nice thing, maybe. But if we just imagine this nowadays, it looks like strange stuff. Just somebody robs somebody else, maybe kills somebody, and justifies his actions as something kind and good for society. It doesn't look like a good idea. Well, and
Yes, just imagine that the Robin Hood is an image. Uh, it's not the real person, for example, but it is an image of behavior or of society. For example, our government can be this Robin Hood. No killings, no murders, but just the government takes from the rich and gives to the poor. So do you agree with that?
sometimes it happens, some kind of revolution, and everybody yells, well, the justice will come, and after that the picture is very sad and miserable. Sometimes it happens in history, and it seems to me it is better to do things carefully and consciously, but because while somebody yelling and wants to fix the society immediately, it works badly and even worse sometimes. It is very hard question. Sometimes I watch some documentaries about history, about ancient times, and it's very interesting, but there are a lot of scary and depressing times and events and so on. And that's why it is hard to answer to this question. It is a good plot for a movie, maybe, but nothing more for me.
Okay, thank you for your opinion. Any other ideas? Maybe Tatiana, you have your own assessment, Julia, about Robin Hood. Was he a crook or not, maybe?
So I don't think what he is crook because he made a good act. So he want to be a world better, and he helped the poor human. So I think what she a hero, but she a hero himself time. So
So imagine that you are the rich person. You work hard. You're trying to find some ways to reduce the taxes, the expenditures you have. And one day, some Robin Hood comes to you, takes your money or your wealth, anything you have, and he thinks that's not fair that you have this money and other people they don't have, and he gives your money to someone else. What would you?
So he helped. He helped made them charity. So
Yes, Robin Hood helps others to be kind to others and to be helpful to others.
yes.
Yes. Okay. Nice idea. Okay. Yulet, what about you? What would you
I
think?
think
What would you say?
it seems to me, I agree with you that Robin Hood is like a government nowadays. He came to rich and take money of them, and nowadays government do this, and then they give it to poor, like social savings and helpings, and but I think poor in this case sit and wait this money, and they don't do anything to earn it by themselves, to change their life, to change their conditions, and it's not good for these people because they only sit and wait.
Yes, and if they receive everything in such an easy way, there will be no possibility for them to change their lives, because they think that anyway they will receive something from the government.
Yes, they know that they think that the government must do it for them, and they wait this, and they never change their life.
Okay.
Oh, I have a big family and I need government protection, and I will sit and wait when the government give me money for my family, give me I don't 5 kids and a flat or something like that.
Some benefits.
Benefits of
Yes.
yes. And they wait for it, and I think the most I think the a middle class is the most punished of the taxes of this, because poor have benefits from government, rich have loopholes to save their money, and the middle class don't use anything. They don't have benefits from government and don't know loopholes, and they only pay and pay and pay.
Yes. And the problem is that the government takes not from the rich, but from the middle class.
Yeah.
And the rich, they are not actually taxed because they know how to avoid this, how to reduce their payments, their taxes. And the middle class is paying for the benefits and for all these things to the poor. Okay, let's go further. Do you think members of the middle class and the poor realize, I have already asked that question, that do they realize that the burden of taxes has fallen to them? Do you agree with that statement? So I think we have discussed, let's go further. Do your beliefs fall more under the banner of capitalism or socialism? What are the benefits and downfalls of each way of thinking? So what are your beliefs? Do you fall more under the banner of socialism, first, let's discuss what does it mean, capitalism and socialism. What is that, and what is the difference between them? Do you know that? Can you explain what is capitalism and what is socialism, and what is the difference between them? Anyone?
I think the difference between them is that in capitalism you take care of your money and you manage it by yourself. When socialism, money was managed by government.
Mm-hmm.
And the government share the money from the people and gives them a benefits, so some social security and others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all, I think.
Okay,
I don't know what to say more.
I didn't know what is capitalism and what is socialism before I started reading the book. And the rich dad believed in capitalism. So he said that capitalism is the better way of society, for society and for the country. So what is the difference I have found when I was surfing the internet? So capitalism, the main idea of capitalism is profit. So they decide and they make decisions if it is profitable or if it is not profitable. That is the main idea of capitalism. Then every person can have his private property. So he can own the corporation, he can have some small or big company, and some property. So private property is allowed. And the economy in capitalism is a market economy. So it means that the government or the country produces the goods that people need. So that are so useful in the market. So the people need something and the country produces these goods. In socialism, the economy has some plan. It doesn't matter what is the market about, so they just produce some products because they have a plan. Then the equality, that is the principle, the main idea of socialism, that от каждого по возможностям, каждому по потребностям, да, то есть вот этот вот лозунг социализма, так скажем, один из. And the private property is not allowed because the government owns the property. The corporations, the companies, all these properties so they belong to government. The person or the private companies are not allowed. These are the main difference. But of course, I think there are some aspects that that are discussable, so to say. And so, what do you believe is better for society, capitalism or socialism?
Well, it seems to me all of those stuff have many disadvantages, but it seems to me socialism even doesn't work at all. Well, they have maybe they have a beautiful Ну, лозунги, как мы говорим, я не знаю такое выражение.
Motto.
Ideas,
Motto.
mottos, but it doesn't work at all, it seems to me. It is like an utopia. Capitalism, it is also maybe has more disadvantages, but at least it works. But also it seems to me the humanity don't have to stop and develop this one. Maybe one day people will find out something more useful, but for nowadays it seems to me capitalism works, and it is a better decision, the better solution.
And what are the downfalls of capitalism, you think? You said it has some disadvantages.
Many people say about consumable society.
Yes.
How to say it properly?
The society of consuming.
Consumerism.
Yes.
Consumerism, and there are some. It looks like. Ой. Got the word. Okay. Okay. Sometimes we see in media stories about people who works. They don't have time for their family. They have heart attack on their job, and it is like rat race. So some people live like rat race. There are laws, but many people can't use the benefits of law because you have to pay a lot of money for lawyers, for attorney's job. But if you are a poor person, nobody cares you. So it seems like the law works, but it doesn't work in reality because nobody do this. And if you want to learn law on your own, you have to pay for good education. There are a lot of problems, and in the beginning, at the as a result, we see some people are rich. Okay, some of them are hardworking, are smart, but also there are opportunities to get richer for angry people who doesn't care about other for rest people. Sometimes we see hardworking and kind people, not lazy, but they can't. It is very hard to find opportunity to live without poverty, and so on. So
Okay.
maybe that's it.
Okay, let's continue the discussion about the chapter. So, are the rich right to use the advantages of corporations to avoid paying taxes? Do you think more people could follow suit if they understood the system better? So, are they right to use the advantages of corporations? And do you think that more people could follow suit if they understood the system better? So the system of how corporations help to avoid taxes. So I like this sound of birds singing and the dog barking. Julia, are you somewhere outside?
Yes, I'm with my daughter near her school, and I'm sorry for this.
No, I really like this, like the sounds, and I just enjoy them. All the class we have, all the meetings. Okay. So, do you think that people could use this possibility and create the corporation to avoid paying taxes? For example, if I know that corporations can give me some advantages, I can open or organize this corporation, register the corporation, and use this way to avoid taxes.
Okay, I think it's really complicated to people to make a corporation, not in the way to do, but
Mhm.
it's the way how, because you really don't know what to do to how to make money in your real corporation. And
Mhm.
at first you have I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
And at first you have economical education, and or to hire some attorney and accountant to help you, and after that maybe it can work. And
Mhm.
it's not
So
easy, I think.
it's not easy. When you were reading this chapter, did you have this thought that maybe I should open a corporation? Maybe I should organize the corporation to pay less taxes? Did you have this
um,
idea when you were reading?
I know about it before, and I know this stuff like legal body, not a corporation, individual ИП, да, я не знаю, как это сказать по-английски.
Um, no, I can't help you.
Индивидуальный предприниматель, да, individual legal body, okay.
Individual entrepreneur. Okay.
Yes, and I know that they pay less taxes than their other people. They can choose a tax 6% or 13%, and it you you can choose a tax, but
Mm-hmm. Is
um,
it less than the tax of the physical person? Is
yes,
it less than 13%?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
you can pay 6% of your profit.
Mm-hmm.
So all profit, all money, what you earn, you pay 6%.
Okay, so
But
I think that's a good
if
idea.
if you work
Mm-hmm.
for corporation,
Huh?
not much corporations work with this stuff, because they save your money, their money of paying your taxes. That's an ex, как-то, expense.
Expenses? Mm-hmm.
Yes, and for corporation too. It's
Mm-hmm.
not easy to find this way, I think.
Uh-huh.
But I think now our economy now go to capitalism model more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was reading this chapter, I had this idea. For example, if you work for some company, any job. For example, you are an accountant and you work for some company. You pay 13% from your profit, so from your salary. And if, for example, you register the legal body, you would pay less. And after all the expenses, so the profit will be less, so to say, for taxes, and you pay less taxes. I think that's a good idea, of course. And you may work as an accountant, but as a company, as a legal body, for the same company. Why not? Okay, that is the question, not for you, just I was sharing my thoughts. So what are specific ways that you yourself could benefit from using a corporation for your assets? Are there any ways that you could benefit from using, you can use the corporation and it gives you benefits? Are there any ways in your real situation for this moment? Do you have any benefits from this idea in your real situation? Only birds
Unfortunately,
are
I have
thinking.
no any idea.
Sorry?
Unfortunately, I have no any idea.
Yes, you have no idea about that.
I don't work, so I don't idea too. I don't
Yes,
have
but
idea.
you don't work now, but you can plan the future way of working. That's a good possibility, by the way, to have this idea and to think how you can use it for your own assets, like the author of this book used it. Of course, it's not easy, but I think that we should, if we want to achieve something, we should pay for it. Not exactly money, but to pay our time, our efforts, our study, and all these things. Of course, it's not easy, but that's a good way of thinking, I think. I suppose that's another way of thinking, the thinking of the rich man, maybe. Okay, I think that's
our mentality.
yes, to change our mentality and our
thinking.
mind. We have to think about that, how we can use this idea for our own life for this moment. And of course, we should have some financial literacy. We have to find out some information or consult with the people who know about that. And yes, there are some efforts to do. Okay, that was not a really easy chapter for me. I don't know what about you, but for me it was not easy to understand all these things about taxes, but I have found some good ideas for me concerning taxes and concerning this way of avoiding taxes. And yes, thank you for discussion, and thank you for being here today. And the next chapter, so we will read the 5th chapter next week. Okay.
Thank you for the lesson.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day. Goodbye.
Have a nice day too. Goodbye.
Thank you. Have a